Okay, so before I begin showing you the intro, I'll just talk a little bit about effects. So for the funky parts in this song, I'm using a MXR Phase 90, so phaser. Gives it that sort of trippy, swooshy sort of effect. I love that pedal. And then for the bit of hum. For the for this bit, I'm using a T-Rex Mudhoney for some filthy fuzz. So let's begin with the intro then. So we start here, F minor 7, then we're going to go like this. So that is 8 hammering onto 11 on the smallest string, and then I go up to 11 on the B string. Then I'm going to do 9 and 11 hammering onto 11, do a trill, and then you go up to 10 on the G string. After you've done that, you go C minor, so that's all 6 strings, and if you can, try and catch that B string after you've done it, so you've got, then you're going to go down to a B7 and then start building up. Don't whack it, obviously. And then when I get to B7, before I go to the next lick, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Played wrong, but yes. So I'm going to go, this bit is really odd. The timing for it's a bit weird. You're going to go, so that was 8 sliding up to 10. And then I play 10 on the smallest E string. And then you go back to 8 on the small E. Then I'm going to go like this. So I went 7, hammer on to 8 with my middle and ring finger, and then down to 6 on the smallest string. So I went. Then you've got 8, 6 on the B string. After I've done this, I do a couple of mutes. So I go. Do you hear that? So the little. Then we're going to go to this position. So you go 8 on the G and 10. No, yeah, 8 on the G and then 9 on the B, and you bend it up. So you go. This verse part. So when I say verse, the whole song. It's based around what is commonly called the Hendrix chord. It's an F minor 9, it's a 7 and 9 F. The reason it's called a Hendrix chord is because it's in Purple Haze. Like that chord there. Although it's E there, we're doing it in F. So when we do this next funky bit, you can hear it's kind of like but obviously we're not just going to stay on that chord, we've got lots of things around it. So this is when we get our phaser. Oh yeah, actually I'd use the phaser in the intro as well. And then you're going to go straight into this bit. So that is probably, I find that the trickiest bit of the song, but it sounds so cool. I thought that's all I could hear, but then I started looking up other people playing it, and I saw that they were all over the place, and it sounded better. Now, there is ways of simplifying this, but I'm just going to show you for now the way that I do it. So it starts with the sort of end of the intro. So you've got these two here, 8 and 9 on the G and B, and you just bend them up, like when we go. Then take the same two fingers, but now move them here. So you've come up a string, and you're now on 7 and 8. And we're going to go like this. So you're holding down 7 and 8, but put the emphasis on that 8. And then just bring that one that you're playing on the D string in very gently. So don't go like, go like. So can you hear it? It's just like on the first one, I don't play it, I just mute it. And then when I go back and forth like that, I bring it in sort of, but very quietly. So, funky playing is hard, I know. So if you're not, so I'd keep this sort of rhythm going, if you can, and then go. So you've got 1, 1, 2, 3. And you're going to go, so yeah, I went back and forth from the 8, and so back 1 fret with both strings. So you got. After you've done that, you're going to slide on the D string up to the 13th fret. So you've got. And then your middle finger's going to come down and play the small E string on the same fret, 13. So you've got. This bit's really hard. This took me quite a while, and I'm very sorry if I don't explain this very well, because it's sort of muscle memory for me now. It's not like, I don't know. After you've done this, after you've played this high E, you go high F there. You go back to the 12th fret on the D string. So you've got. Then you go. So after I slide in, small E string, back to 12, then back up to the 13th fret on the D, and then you go 13 on the D, 14 on the G, and then 12 on the D. So you've got, and then you go like we did back here. So you got 12. So after the slide, really slowly. Hang on, let's just start. Make sure I'm sliding from the right place. No, didn't slide far enough. Hang on. So that is tough. So then you're going to go slide, small E string, play the F, back to 12, up to 13, play 14 on the G, back to 12 on the D, and then go 13, 12, 13. So that took me quite a while. In fact, it's why the tab is being sent today and not yesterday, because that took me ages. It's one of those things you've just got to really listen to the rhythm. What this finger is doing, the index finger, is the most important thing. After you've done that, you're going to go back to where we started, but instead of going so on the 8 and the 9 on the G and B string respectively, you're going to go like this instead. So actually I'll do it with these two fingers, middle and ring finger. So you bend it up before you play it, and then you let it go. So after I've done this, see that? So If I do that whole verse part, so. So the first time you do that, I should explain actually better. The first time you do that round, at the end you push up with the string bend, and at the end of the second one, you push up, play, and then let go. So, first one, push up, and then let go. Okay, so that is very tricky. You could go like this. So just go back and forth, and then go. So just sticking to this part and just ignore the bit, but I know, I love that bit, so, and that is what actually happens in the song, so I thought I'd at least show you it. The rest of the parts of the song shouldn't be too anywhere near as difficult as the intro and that bit. That is the bit that, if you're going to do it, that's, you know, the hardest parts. We've got this bit, which I call the James Brown bit. If that isn't ripped off from a James Brown song, then, you know, my name is Shirley. So we're going to go. That was 8, 6, 7, 8. So 8 on the A, 6 on the D, 7 on the D, and then back to 8 on the A. Then you're going to do. So these chords here are kind of like weird chords. They're kind of like. But we're just going to play the tops of them. So after you've done this for the first time, you're going to bar the 8th fret on the 3 smallest strings, but then you're going to play 10 with your ring finger on the smallest string, and you're going to go. So that was 10, and then let go. So you've got. And then the second time round. So you've got. Second time round you go, you hold down the 8th fret at the start for just a bit longer. So you've got. So did you hear that? I played 8 for a bit longer the second time. So you got. This time we're going to go like this. So I do this with my ring finger personally. So that was 8. Completely covered, barred, first 3 strings, and you play it and slide it into 10. When you get up to 10 you go, and then so you go 1, so you slide it up, play it 2 more times, then play it again and slide back down. So that part is. And then lastly we've got this bit, which is a bit more straightforward. Listen to that hum. Yes. So the confusing thing with this part, silence, is there's at one point where it goes from F, it goes up to B flat. So it's knowing when to do that, and you've really got to listen to the vocals for that, which is quite difficult because it only does it for 1 bar. Well, not 1 bar, 1 like sort of round. But anyway, so we've got 1, 1, then you go 6 on the A string, and you go 6, 7, 8 in 1 pick, so 1 motion. Then you go 6, and you do a bluesy micro bend at the end. Don't go. Go. And then there's one time round where you go like this. it goes back to F. So hopefully, if my computer doesn't... I'm going to try and do this to the song. Hang on. There it is. So I'm going to play it from where the vocals start. So as you heard there, it's basically F for pretty much the whole thing, but after I think 4 rounds of the riff on F, you go to B flat for 1 round, so it's very weird. And it does that twice in the song. We'll talk about that more in the lesson, because I still need to figure out a way of how I can get you guys to remember where that is or know where that is, because it's really tough. Unless you're following what's happening vocally, I really can't think of many other ways you can do it other than just counting the amount of times that you play the riff normally. But it's so many times, it's going to be hard for everyone to keep count. So we'll just have to see. But yeah, long video, that one. And there's some really tough parts in there. But I love playing this song, actually, like having learned it properly. So fingers crossed we can get something out of it. Let me just show you, actually, before I wrap up. Seeing as the video is really long already, I might as well just show you the other parts to the song with the track so you can hear it. So I'm going to try my best not to screw this up. So here's the intro. 3, 4, 5. And then obviously halfway through the song you've got another intro. I just remembered as well, when you're doing this part at the start of the song, you can go up like this. So there's a really sort of like bit. It's like at the start of the song before the singing comes in. It doesn't really happen anywhere else, but we go. So that's a sort of F7 type shape, I think. No, it's not. There's no F in there, but it's a 7 type shape, bluesy type thing. We're gonna go. Let's see. I'm gonna have to. Shouldn't do this while I'm doing the video, but I'm gonna have to work out what notes I'm actually playing there. So you've got an A, an E flat or a D sharp, and a C. Weird. I'll look up what chord that is. So you've got 17, 16, 17 from the G string downwards. Anyway, yeah, cheers guys. I'll see you in the lesson and hopefully we can make sense of this bad boy. But yeah, see you soon.